The male loneliness epidemic doesn't have to do with women. It has to do with men. It was men who said that emotional connection was weakness. It was men who sent other men into exile to be rescued by the women. And that is where the women come in as the rescuers. But women didn't volunteer for that job. It was men who said that men can only feel emotions in the presence of a woman, like a girlfriend or a wife or a sister or a mother. It was men who made women the male life support system, which is asking way too much of the women to carry their own emotional burdens as well as those of the men. But do men come after other men when women fail them? No, they blame the women. Of course they do, because it's way easier to just blame women than to face the fact that the system, this patriarchal monster that we call sometimes the matrix, sometimes just the system, it didn't raise you. To face the fact that it hollowed you out instead of raising you. It's so much easier to just numb yourself to that fact, to the fact that system ate your life, it ate your childhood, you know. And then it taught you that self-erasure was strength, so that you don't even have any tools to fight it back, because it taught you that silence and numbness were strength, and so that you would swallow your pain and just keep walking. Everything that the system told you was strength was actually built on the burial of your own humanity. And now we have all of these men walking around like an unmarked mass grave, and they all died emotionally at 5 years old. And then we're calling this thing the male loneliness epidemic, when really, is it loneliness? And is it a passing event? Feminism didn't ruin relationships. That's not why men are lonely. Men are lonely because they never developed emotionally past those initial lessons the system taught you, that gentleness meant shame, and crying meant humiliation, and asking questions meant punishment. And silence was the only form of communication that kept you safe. This isn't loneliness. This is a hostage situation, and nobody came for you. Masculinity made orphans out of boys and then made orphanhood manhood. Masculinity abandons a new boy every day by telling him that emotional starvation is strength, so that boys will continue to aspire to it. The system gave you numbness and called it being a man. It took your gentleness and called it weakness. It took your desire for connection and replaced it with a hunger for status and wealth. And now the system is our meteorologist, telling us that this is all just a passing weather event, when actually it was woven into the very foundations of our society to keep men turning on women and turning on each other, instead of us all collectively gathering the courage to squarely face the system itself and take it down. The only thing male loneliness epidemic got right is you were never meant to be this alone. That is true. That's true regardless of marital status. That's true whether you're single, married, old, young. The lie is that you were robbed of a woman. You were not robbed of a woman. You were robbed of your childhood, and you were robbed of yourself.